Good morning, my beautiful people. So I'm just getting out of the gym and I don't believe in coincidences. So I was trying to think of like what to talk about with you guys today. And I was like, well, maybe I should talk about like religious trauma. And then I was like, I don't know if I feel like dealing with that right now. And then I get on the treadmill and you know that song by Black Bear that's like, swear to God, I'm a sinner in a church burning up for you. That song came on and I was like, well, I guess like I should probably talk about it. And then I start running on the treadmill and then I look up at the TV and I'm the only one at the gym and the TV's on like a random channel and it switches and it's like the Pope in the Catholic Church or some shit. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll talk about it. I feel like there's a huge misconception on like the LGBTQ community not having like a religion, like, or being religious, or like being people of God or whatever you believe in. Like, it's so baffling to me that like a community that is just for like loving people and loving everyone and accepting everyone is looked at as the least religious community out there, when like my whole life I was taught that like God is love and you love thy neighbor and you love thyself and whatever. So like, why would we be condemned for loving our neighbor or loving somebody else? You know what I mean? So that was like my thought process. But I feel like everybody has some type of religious trauma when it comes to like being gay or being trans or just like being different. Like, the Christians are really judgy, dude. And like, I have always believed in God and I've always like heard about the Bible, read the Bible, but in high school I think I was like it was like 8th grade sophomore year, or 8th grade freshman year, sophomore year. No, but I started working at a church. My mom's a Seventh-day Adventist and I needed a job because I needed to make some money, you know what I mean? So I was a janitor for like a good year and a half at the Seventh-day Adventist church that I used to go to, and it was cool. Like, I didn't come out as, I was a girl back then and I liked girls, and I didn't come out back then, but during that time I had one of my like very first girlfriends, and my mom caught us making out in the back of the gym, and she fucking lost her shit. She didn't lose her shit because like I was making out with girls. She lost her shit because I was like making out with the gym. You know what I mean? So it was like, whoo. So that kind of ticked her off a little bit. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But if she saw this, she'd know that she was. So that came out like early, probably my sophomore year. And then I kind of just let it go and we didn't talk about it. We just like kind of moved forward from it. And then like over time I had brought somebody really special to me to the church, and we made out in the in the like nursery room when nobody was in there, or like the janitor's closet. We made out in like the girls' bathroom. Like, I don't know, I did a lot of things that like were questionable, but I don't think that was that questionable. They ended up finding out that like we were together and that I was gay, and I was actively doing Bible studies with one of the youth leaders or whatever, and they tried to, multiple people had tried to like tell me that, you know, like that's not right and that's not what God wants for me, that it is a sin, and we're here to try and avoid temptations basically, and like just a bunch of shit that's like obvious. But it's like, yeah, everybody has temptations for things that like aren't necessarily good, but loving somebody and being with somebody isn't a temptation, it's a loving act, you know what I mean? So like, I was always confused about that, and I was just like, you guys are so fucking stupid. But I've been like an alcoholic since I was like 8 years old, so I got super smashed. I used to do a lot of stupid stuff, really, truly, and I ended up getting caught super drunk, kind of like above the church, and they brought me down to the church, and they were talking to me, and I was like, dude, I just want to be, I want to be different. I don't want to be this way. I don't want to feel like I'm doing something wrong, and like I can't help it, and I'm not going to change who I am to fit into this category of something that you think is right when I don't think it's wrong. And you know, it like really pushed me away from being a Christian or being religious, because it was like, how are you going to reject me when I'm actively like studying the Bible and trying to learn about God and trying to be the best version of myself that I can be? And like religion, the whole thing is kind of messed up. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna listen to somebody talk about their beliefs and their interpretations of something that is in the Bible, when like the whole point of reading the Bible is supposed to like be your own interpretation of whatever is happening, so that you can make a decision and so that you can choose to follow God or not. But whatever. The whole thing's messed up. But it pushed me away, and I didn't ever really go back. Like, my brother went to a church school till he was a sophomore in high school, and he's graduating this year, so he was just freshly out. And like, they were always nice to me. I mean, they didn't have a reason not to be, but they didn't accept me. And when I came out as trans, they really didn't accept me. And I hate to say it, but it's a lot harder to accept somebody that is trans when they are not actively passing. You know what I mean? So like, you could look at somebody that is trying to transition and be like, this is the wrong move for you, because they are not passing at the moment. And I noticed that a lot when I first started transitioning, is that like people had this oh no type of opinion on my transition, because like I was fat, I was depressed, I was like changing and looking a lot different than like I wanted to. Like, yeah, I basically went through puberty again. I got fat, I got acne, I like plumped up, and like I was emotional and I was a wreck, and that's just how it was. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, that's how it was for me. But that's how like regular puberty was for me too. So, but it's a lot easier to make a oh no opinion off of somebody that is not at their ideal end goal yet. I noticed that like now, within this last year, everybody that had tried to convert me and tell me that like I was doing something wrong, or that I was going to hell, or that like my decisions in my life was going to make God reject me, all of those people have since apologized to me, because I have done nothing but give them like the same love and like interaction that I did before they knew that I was trans. You know what I mean? Like, they had an opinion on something that I was doing, but it didn't change me as a person. And I never threw it in anybody's face. I never like tried to make them see me in a different way. I listened to what they had to say. I said okay, and I never went back. But over time, I think they realized that like that wasn't their whole goal in their eyes was to bring me closer to God, but all they did was push me away. You know what I mean? So like in their now, I think that they're realizing that like it wasn't the best idea. But I don't know, I think that like it sucks that people will make that oh no opinion if you're not passing, and everyone's not going to pass at first. You know what I mean? And so like automatically you're going to have that. But I think that like me doing this and being so open and out in the church made it a lot easier for the kids that were like struggling with the same type of thing. Maybe they weren't trans, but they were gay, or they felt different. They wanted piercings, they wanted tattoos, they wanted like to be like, I'm not saying I'm tainting these children, but you know what I mean? Like they needed an example to know that like you are not going to hell because you have a tattoo. You are not going to hell because you want a nose piercing. You're not going to hell because you're trans and you are so scared shitless to come out to anybody because of what they'll say about you. Like, people like dive into this cult-ish religion, and I'm not just talking about like Seventh-day Adventists, I'm talking about Christians, I'm talking about Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm talking about everybody. Until you can like translate Hebrew and then have a full opinion, like I don't believe a single word you say. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make my own opinion and do whatever I feel is right, and that's what it should be. But recently somebody came out to me that was in the church and was like, you know, you're the first trans person that I ever met, and like I would have been comfortable or felt like I was okay. Like I always felt like something was wrong with me, and it's like, that sucks. Like I felt like that, and I wasn't even like surrounded by the church my whole entire life. I was only surrounded by the church for a couple years of my life like that, and like that sucks. But to be out there and be like a positive example of what a trans person looks like I'll do that. I don't care. You know what I mean? If you're gonna condemn me, but at least like maybe I could save some kid's life that is really deep in a hole, because feeling that way makes you like so physically depressed, and like, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I just be like the other kids? Why can't I just like want to grow up and marry a man and have kids and like live in a fucking barn style house with whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. But everyone has religious trauma, and maybe not even like people that are in the community. I know that like Jehovah's Witnesses don't accept people that get divorces, and it's like, dude, sometimes marriages just don't work. You know what I mean? It happens to everybody. So like, how are you going to condemn one community and not the other? Or like accept one person and not another? So weird. But I love you guys, and that's all I got to say today. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Oh wait, do what all the professionals tell you to do: like, comment, subscribe, and leave me some stuff in the comments, because I want to know about your religious trauma and how you feel about the church community, I guess. I love God. I love you guys. Bye.